So we had some very bad fires in Los Angeles. Here's our apartment.
Sunset. Trista, that's your van. That's your building, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
This is our friend Darren driving by the day after. Yeah, most of the city, most of the town is gone. This is our place. It's gone. This was a two-story apartment building. Behind this van was the little garage where I did a lot of the DIY projects and also I used it for work a lot. Lots of tools. But most devastating is really that Trista's business is gone, including her van, her Prius, and all her tools and all her savings. Everything was in the van. We had no insurance, no homeowners insurance, no car insurance, no insurance for the van. So this is very rough right now. And this video is about the Doggo Bus, about Trista and her business. And I want to document this project with the few images that I have from the build. Unfortunately, I never got to document it with a video documentation before it burned down. So it is a fairly new build, but it's a very nice build and we put a lot of effort into it. So I wanted to share that with everybody. Yeah, this is the van, the way it looked, and it's better days. This is what it looks like right now. Everything's gone, everything's burned out. So it all started with the van, and when she really kicked this off, her own business. This was in March 2022, and she found this empty cargo van, which you see here in the image, and was very happy to, yeah, get started building this van out. And that's what we did. So first thing, we did the flooring and the insulation. Of course, we went to Home Depot, bought the flooring materials, put the flooring in. Short after, you see here, Trista's going to town with the saw, getting the floorboards in. Yeah, the next step after this was insulation. We used the Thinsulate material, same material that I used in this van here. So luckily, we still have the van I'm sitting in right now, and this is all we have. And on top of the Thinsulate, we put the Reflectix material, which gives it a waterproof barrier, and then on that top comes the waterproof paneling. So that was step one. And after we had this insulation, we went to the next step, which was cutting some holes for vent and for the windows. So vent is very important for grooming van to get the air out. And yeah, you see here the vents ready to be put in. Trista is just doing the anti-corrosion, the anti-rust onto this cut. And at this stage, we also added two windows, and that gave Trista a lot of nice airflow in the van, which is very important when you're working with a lot of water and wet dogs. The next step was the solar panels. Obviously, we were planning to do a modern van, so we did not want to use a generator, and we did also not want to rely on power from the clients. That's what a lot of grooming vans do. They either have a generator that's loud or they have a cable that they ask the customer if they can plug in. But Trista didn't have to do this. She had a very quiet modern van and it was all solar powered. So we put 800 watts of solar panels on the roof. Here you see my friend Maciek and me putting the first panel up. And this was quite a project. It took us yeah, a fair bit of the night to get this done. Yeah, we developed some custom mounting brackets here. And here you see Trista working on the rails for those panels. So that was a big step. But once we had the panels in, the next step was, of course, the whole electrical system, the rest. And in this step, you see my brother Mike and myself putting the batteries in. And this was almost 10,000 watt hours of battery power here. So we have 4 of these Renault G batteries that we put in. We built a little frame here, so the batteries are sitting a little higher over the wheel well, so that we don't waste space, and underneath there's all storage. And yeah, in this image you already see the Victron components in, so we decided to go all Victron here, and we put those on panels, and then we had segmented panels and we could put them in. That was also quite nice for servicing it. So here you see the first Victron components are up. We have the charge controllers and of course the Orion for the alternator, and then everything is powered by this brain, which is the Servo GX, which is controlling everything and has a nice touch screen display. And we also added a telematics, like a 4G module, so that we could control and monitor the van remotely. So, and here in the back, you already see the inverter. So we had a 3000 watt inverter in this van. So enough power for her to operate all her tools and everything she needed at the same time. Yeah, there you see as the Victron components go in. Here's another image with everything testing early on before the framing was really finished. We started to add some lighting in certain positions. But that was one of the early steps that we finished the electrical system. So now solar is in, electrical is in, and the next big thing was, of course, the water system. A grooming bus needs a lot of water. So we had, I believe, almost 50 gallon of fresh water and a little less in gray water, maybe it was 40 gallons. I have the stats later on. And we designed the tub, and we then started framing everything here. So you see the framing going up. One big issue is, of course, you need to have hot water. So for hot water, we found this nice 6-gallon hot water heater, and it is electric, so it works with 110 volt, but it also has a heat exchanger. So we extended the cooling system of the van to the back and ran it through this heater. So if Trista drove about 15 minutes, then she had hot water. So this was actually a fantastic solution. It was this hybrid of electric and heat exchanger from the car. Yeah, the other thing is there was an electric valve here for dumping the water. So when she was hooked up to the sewer, she could then just hit a button and it was dumping the water out, the gray water in this case here. There was the marking for the water inlet from the outside. And yeah, but this is our pump system. So we had a redundant pump system, 2 of these SureFlow pumps, so that if one would fail, that she could still use the other one, and they were both connected. So she could also increase the water pressure by just using both pumps, which wasn't necessary, but this was more a redundancy reason here. Yeah, that's the water. Then there's a lot of other things that came in. So this is all the framing that had to get done. Of course, a lot of the appliances had to be put in, and the grooming tools towards the end. But here you see the framing goes up. We built a wall towards the back to shield some of the tools and yeah, the noisy parts from the inside. And also we put a wall to the front. Here you see the driver, and we put plexiglass windows and a nice door here, so that the front part would also stay clean and the hair wouldn't go all over the place. Yeah, lighting was put in. So you see here, this is now framed out and with the ceiling lighting in place. We made sure we had a lot of nice bright lights. And yeah, you see here now more and more of the appliances coming in now. We have the tub in, we have the grooming table in the front, and on the left side, this is storage, and also in the back, this is where the batteries are sitting underneath. And you also see the electrical components there, shielded with a plexiglass cover. Here you see the glass cover, which you can easily accessed, but it's also waterproof because water splashes around here. Yeah, and as these things came together, we were always testing with our own dog to see how it fits and how everything works out. And yeah, we see an almost final image here. In the recent weeks, we added an air conditioning up here in the top. That's not here yet, but this is yeah, about what it looks like. Then on the lighting side, yeah, we had different lighting modes. So there's more like a mood lighting as well when you wanted to not have the bright ceiling lights. And important, of course, is the grooming table. So there's an electric scissor lift table here that can be controlled with feet. So the bigger dogs could just step on the table when it was low, and then Trista could lift it up, and then the dogs could walk to the left into the tub and then back on the table later on. Here's another shot of the electrical system behind the acrylic. So we also had a window that goes to the back. So you see here the inverter. And I want to show you really quick the back. So one important component for all groomers is the hot blower, the dryer. So there's this K9 dryer. It's a very powerful dryer. It's also very loud, so it was good to have it in the back, and it was shielded to the front. So, and it was mounted here in the back side. So here you see a better image. This is where the K9 blower was mounted. We had a shop vac mounted, and the hoses, they went into the main cabin. So very convenient just to pick up the blow dryer hose or the shop vac hose, and ability to hose and clean everything out. The van had everywhere these panels where we could control all the lights and the different pumps and the heater and the dump valve. So from different areas in the van, you could engage all of this. So this was done via different relay boards. Here's another shot of everything in the back. And at the very end, here's the air conditioning unit. That's a 12-volt air conditioning where we had the evaporator inside, which you see here, the white part. And this is the condenser and the compressor, which I took apart and mounted underneath the van. So this was a unit that was combined. So I disconnected this and used the Freon lines to run all the way up in the van, and that worked very well. So in the hot summer month, just to use that, and was very happy to have it. And so this is a little bit of the Doggo Bus in action. You see here Trista with a customer and her dog. So that's a typical picture of Trista in action. We made some magnetic signs on the van, and yeah, here's another picture of her washing a dog. Yeah, specification, quickly going over that. So, like I said, almost 10 kilowatt hours of battery power, 800 watts of solar, and a 3000 watt inverter, 52 gallons of fresh water, 40 gallons of gray water, and these pumps with the two pumps combined 6 gallon per minute of pumping flow. So that was plenty. As I mentioned, the Victron telemetry system is amazing, and it's been working great. Trista was monitoring the van remotely. She was remotely turning the heating system on and off for her water heater. Here are the stats of the van just before it burned down. So you see it happened on January 7th, and then we see a flat line, and everything stops recording to the cloud. So that's a quick overview of the van. Trista has a GoFundMe campaign. I'm going to link it in the video, and really appreciate everyone who already donated. And I hope we get the funds together so that she can buy a new van and the new tools and appliances. And then we want to get back on it and rebuild this Doggo Bus van so she can start her business up again.